Yeah.
Scott Dinehart.
He
And
did.
then I remember,
Annette, she
started
said
out.
she remembered Scott
oh,
Dinehart.
I do. He's a
Who?
dear.
Scott Dinehart.
I don't know Scott, who's Scott down there?
That's my dermatologist.
Oh, okay,
Came to me all
I
of a sudden.
understand,
No, I
yeah.
think the main thing is that you want your current last name, but if there's a maiden name. But if you've had more than one last name, you don't have to mention everybody, just be sure you get your maiden name in there.
Okay.
I saw,
Okay, Rose, let's do it.
all right, I'm ready. What are we doing?
Go ahead. First name, last name, spelling of both, your maiden name, date of birth.
Gosh, you think I can remember that? Okay, I'm Rose Slatterer, RoseSchlatter.
I've never spelled it
My
right.
maiden name was Hess, Hess. And do I have to give my birth date? 1/6/30.
Okay.
1930.
1930. I'm the oldest of them all.
That's
Chuck.
assumed.
I'm Radine Clark, spelled Radine, RADINECLARK.
Palladino.
No, that comes next. I was born in
Maiden
Little
name.
Rock.
Maiden name,
Oh, maiden name was Miller, MILLER.
date of birth,
Date of birth, July 10th, 1930.
that's it.
Okay. And
Edith?
Edie.
Edie. Okay, Edith Laura Ryan Johnson Treadway. I was born August 24th, 1930 in Mannheim, Germany, and we immigrated in January of 37. We moved to Eudora. You want all that?
No,
Okay.
you just wanted the names.
And just a second now.
I'm gonna have to sit up
I'm
straight.
I'm Annette Waldgreen, WAHLGREEN. I have to always put in the H because somebody knocked the H out of Walgreens
Never get it
drugstore.
right. I never get it right.
Anyway, I was born in Little Rock, and I was born September 25th, 1930.
Okay. And almost ready here, Phyllis. Hold on. Ready.
Phyllis Ann Phillips, born 1930 in Wichita, Kansas. That's right. Let's see. Strebeck, STREBECK, Clark, CLARK. Is that it?
Did you put your date of birth?
Oh, 10/10/30. I didn't. Good for you.
And last but not least.
Last but not least,
Last
And
but youngest,
the youngest one.
Mm.
I'm the youngest,
baby.
yeah. I'm Annie Marie Deldano. My maiden name was Spinelli, SPINELLI. Was born December 11th, 1930, in my grandmother's house in North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
You're married
Good. Thank you,
now.
ladies.
I did.
So,
I gave my name,
Oh.
her name to start with.
What I like to kind of do is this can be a little free form discussion among yourselves. I'm not here.
Okay.
I just want you guys to communicate to each other, have a little fun. I've got a little cheat sheet here. But I understand from Mom that you all didn't necessarily meet at St. Mary's.
I met everybody at St. Mary's.
Okay.
I think I'm the only one that was.
Okay. But what I like to do is give me some stories, and I need someone to start of when you guys first all got together, the first time you all got together. So someone just give me a starting story.
I'll start. Well, the first time we got together as a group of 6 was when we decided to go to Europe.
In the year two
But
thousand.
we did,
You came to a party at my house.
yeah,
Yeah.
came to Phyllis's party, and
Right.
that's when we decided to go to Europe together. Before that, we were all in the same grade at St. Mary's, but we didn't necessarily run around together. We
Right.
knew each other, but that was it. And then after we went to Europe, we were very close-knit family.
Oh, we
Right.
had such a good time.
I don't know what I'd do without them.
Yeah. That's very
I
true.
too. Boy, I
Yeah,
tell
me
you,
too.
was that
It's
Terrible
really-
We all
English.
feel
Really
that
been
way, I
wonderful,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
Think
Yeah.
back at the St. Mary days, because we want to hear the history.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, the history didn't start there with us.
It-
I mean,
it did with
start
me.
there, but we didn't get together. I mean,
Well,
we all knew each other. Rose and I
knew
came from the same
Phyllis was
grade
a
school.
hoarder.
I didn't know anybody when I
No.
went to school there. In fact, this is a true fact. I didn't ever see a nun until I came out to St. Mary's.
Really?
And-
What a shock.
Well, my mother was with me and she told me to be quiet. And I tried. I didn't say, and I did well because I got in, I
Yeah.
think.
Phyllis being quiet is doing well. huh?
True.
Phyllis and I were in government class. I don't know if you even remember that, Phyllis. In Sister Edith's government class, and we would
I
have
do.
all kinds of discussions and arguments
hmm
and different things. I don't remember what we argued
Well,
about.
I
but
can
we
tell
did.
you one thing.
What?
It was some offbeat thing that you and I discussed in great length. And I didn't know what I was talking about, but you knew what you were talking about.
Annette, do you remember that time we argued with the nun?
Oh,
Who was our
dear.
English teacher?
Sister Edith?
Francis,
Oh, Sister
yeah.
Francis, yeah.
No, I
And
don't.
she was from Hot Springs, right?
Yes,
And somehow the subject of segregation came up.
Oh, well.
And believe it or not, she was for it. And you and I stood up in class and argued with her.
Well, good for
I
us.
still can't believe I had the nerve to do that. Yeah, it was just too much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't remember what she said, but I've always been proud of that.
Yeah.
Well,
That was
Sister
really-
Imelda was my favorite, and I
Uh-huh,
wasn't very carried away with
Oh,
Sister
Imelda was
Francis.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Sister
Francis,
Imelda.
Who was
She
the
was sort of short.
who was the English nun that she was short and
Sister Carmelita.
Carmelita, yes,
Carmelita.
she's
yes.
the one
She was
I
a-
went in and put
She was
that
for the
snake in
freshman,
her seat.
though. She taught freshman
Tell
English.
about that.
She did, but Annette is the one that got me through that. Do you
Freshman
remember?
English or
What?
just,
Yeah,
yeah.
she'd hold her pencil up,
Yeah.
and if it was the eraser, it was yes. If it was a point, she had it upside
Oh,
down,
I
and that
remember
was
that.
no.
Here was the star.
I
of our
cheated
class, yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
And then she never would do it again.
Oh, really?
I depended on you. I was sure I was
Oh,
going
you
to flunk.
mean for the true and false?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I just knew I was going to get kicked out of the class.
Yeah.
I think Annette and I go back longer. We met each other at Our Lady of Good Counsel in 1937.
Wow.
That was the second grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I,
And we were best friends from the beginning.
yeah,
Wow. How
I mean, you
wonderful.
talk about an odd couple. Here is the star pupil of the class, and then there was me.
What your daddy used to say, or your mom, why couldn't you be more like
Oh, I
Annette?
got that all the time. And it's a wonder I didn't hate her, because my mother especially used to say, I don't know why you can't be more like Annette. If I brought home a good grade, for a change, Mother would say, now see, you did it, you could do that every month.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, they all said that
Yeah.
if you got a good grade. Why can't you do that every month?
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, it was a miracle, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be sure and get one story in. Rose,
oh dear.
Yeah, that's a
do
great
you remember
story.
the time that we almost got arrested?
For indecent exposure.
Are you talking about?
No, not that time.
I want it made clear I wasn't in on any of these.
Hey, I wasn't in on it.
I didn't even know them
I didn't-
then.
I didn't know. And you said you didn't know, I didn't know
Yeah.
anybody except Rose and I, and
there was
Rose
Rose and me. Rose
uh,
was driving,
Edith
and me
got to
and
be real
some
close.
freshmen,
So I
probably
really
Judy
wasn't close
Keith
to
and
any of y'all.
Joe
I didn't
Simmons.
know anybody, honey.
didn't.
I'd
There
never
were some other
ever
people,
Like I
seen
said,
a,
except
a
for Rose.
nun.
Rose was
Never.
the only one I
None
knew.
of us.
Somebody
Oh,
lived in Sherwood.
Is that where we were
Sherwood.
going? Or we were coming
You mean-
from Sherwood.
Uh,
Yeah, going
She
home.
was a
taking
freshman
us
in the
home.
we taught basketball.
Yeah.
She was a freshman.
Boy,
And-
me.
We were just driving
In
home,
Sherwood
minding
or
our own
Levy?
business, and here this
Levy?
car came
I don't
on
know.
the side of us with two men, and they kept pointing like that, get over, and we thought, we're not getting over, it's the middle of the night, and, you know, we thought they were trying to really get us, and they were trying to sort of scoot us over on the road, and we were scared to death. So we decided what we would do would be go straight to the police station, which we did. And we all ran in there yelling, and these men have been trying to blah, 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 and by God, here come the men to the police station. I mean, the nerve.
This was North Little Rock Police, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
And it turns out that they were policemen.
But
they
close.
didn't have,
Plain
they
clothes?
didn't
Yeah.
have
Or
anything on,
detectives.
they didn't show us any ID or anything. And they got reamed out. We had to go to court the next day.
Oh,
Well, they
me.
couldn't catch you. You couldn't.
We had to go, and we went in our in our St. Mary's uniform, you know.
Oh, me.
Oh.
God.
Teen children, and oh no sir, yes sir, blah blah. And the George just reamed those two men out. I
Were,
mean,
were you carrying your rosaries when you went in?
no, I didn't think of that. I would have. Oh, but that was so scary.
Funny.
We thought we were going to have to go to court, and we were trying
We did
to.
go to court.
Yeah.
Go to jail.
We were
Jail.
trying to figure out how to pay the fine. That was it.
Without your
And we
parents
were
knowing?
going, what was the
We were
official charge?
we were charged with speeding,
Resisting arrest.
resisting arrest. I didn't have a driver's license,
No. Oh my gosh.
and I drove all day. I was the chauffeur. We had another couple of charges. Speeding. Anyway, we sat on the first row in that courtroom waiting to be called.
Were your parents with you?
In our
Did they
uniform.
have to
No, we didn't tell our parents.
My parents didn't know we went to El Dorado.
Oh, really? We didn't tell our parents anything.
We went on a picnic. That was
Oh, how funny.
But we sat on the first pew and row, and when he called us up, I had to go up there and swear on a stack of Bibles, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay. And I was scared.
Oh.
Oh,
And
yeah, we all
He
were.
questioned me, and got through with all his questioning. And when it was, he didn't charge us with anything. After it was all over, he called for me, little lady, come up here. So I went up and he said, now go downstairs and get your driver's license.
Oh, how
Well, you
funny.
all were minors. How could
That
they?
was sweet.
Why didn't they insist that your parents were?
Don't ask.
That was back when, Radine.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I want to
when you
tell
all-
how we thought we were going to pay the fine.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember what I was going to flinch from the house, but I remember Judy Keith was going
Flinch?
to
Where'd you get
sell
that language?
her set of encyclopedias. Their parents wouldn't miss a set of encyclopedias. But luckily, we didn't have to pay a fine.
Oh, that's so funny.
I
Oh
don't
my
remember what I was gonna
gosh.
give either, but
I don't see how y'all
I
didn't get
remember
thrown out of
Judy
the
Keith.
Yeah.
school from what
I
the things
remember
you all
one
did.
time, I don't know
Well,
who
I
was
imagine
driving,
they
maybe
knew a
Rose
lot
or
that
Edith.
was
We
done,
were all
but
packed in a car. We had been down to Cantrell Avenue and got ice cream cones, like double or triple deck. And we were, a bunch of us in the car holding these ice cream cones. And we were coming up the hill. You know that hill behind St.
Oh,
Mary's?
yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that thing
Jackson,
in between.
that's Jackson.
That's
isn't it?
Serpentine Hill, yeah.
Yeah.
We were coming up at, I don't know how many miles an hour, but it was plenty.
Oh,
Oh.
Rose was driving that.
It was, we were speeding up that hill. I was scared to death. I didn't say anything, but I was scared to death. Mainly, I was scared my ice cream was going to fall in my lap.
Y'all remember how Gertie used to shimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
Sister
car.
It's a car, now you have to.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
Gertie's mine, Gertrude, yeah,
Yeah.
Gertie.
That green
I
car.
took Sister Declan to the train station one time, and when she got out, she said, "Edith Ryan, don't ever ask me to drive with you again." You talk about a nervous wreck.
While you're telling that, tell the story about taking her to the doctor downtown and going around the little driveway at the blind school.
Oh, yeah,
She was in the back seat of the car.
yeah, there's this, how do you describe that? Just a
It's
break.
half circle really, and it has a telephone pole in the middle. But there's an area where
That you
that
could drive.
you could drive around that
And of
circle.
course, that's where we went all the time.
And we're talking maybe
Well, that-
20 foot.
That's
It's
that
not,
steep hill that goes down to Cantrell then.
No.
no,
it's
it's still on.
Yeah, Kavanaugh,
It's on-
and
yeah.
yes, I know where it
right
is.
across.
And
But
then
anyway,
it goes into the street that
What, was it Sister Declan?
Yeah, Sister Declan.
I don't remember that, but
Oh,
she probably
She's-
yelled.
well, Edith was driving, of course, and made the turn, and we didn't say anything. Edith said, "Should we treat her to the new ride?" And I said, "Uh-huh."
I remember
So-
that.
We turned in that corner, in that circle, and Sister Declan grabbed her rosary. She said, "Oh my goodness, I'll never ride with you again."
oh, bless her heart, scared to
Oh, Lordy, that was fun.
You know, one thing interesting about our gang is that we really, after we graduated in 1948, we kind of went different directions.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
we
Well, I
had
left you before.
I
you
wasn't. Well,
left.
I wasn't a part of that
50th
either.
our
I wasn't a
50th
part of you.
anniversary. We had
Burley's.
a wonderful reunion. It
Oh,
was just
we did.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's when we all got to be friends again.
We were working on our 50th reunion.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I helped
The
you get you
yearbook or
in it.
whatever, yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we
because
planned-
Annette said yes.
Yeah, because I didn't graduate.
I know it.
We asked her to do the art, or you did. I remember.
yeah.
you
Well,
said
I
Regine
announced she
would
would do
that,
all
yeah.
of the art
Yeah,
and
yeah.
volunteer any way she could, and I just laid it on just as
Because
Uh-huh.
I left Mount St. Mary's at the end of the sophomore year
you
and
did.
transferred over to Little Rock Central High so
Right.
I could take art
Right.
because that's what I wanted to do. And they didn't give art at St. Mary's. And my mother even went into the principal, Sister Mary Mark, and asked if what
Get permission.
well,
Yeah, you
that
could
or
get
saying,
it
are you going to
communicated,
start
yeah.
teaching art or something?
If
And
you
Sister
went
Mark
without a.
poo-pooed the whole idea. Said we do not teach art.
Poo-pooed.
Poo-pooed, yes.
Oh, I
Well,
didn't see that.
She
I
made
know
fun.
what you mean.
She made fun of Mother. Made,
Yeah, you
made
haven't
Mother
heard that
come.
expression before, that word?
Yeah, but not used in that way.
Anyway, Sister St. Mark, and Sister Mark asked Mother, said, "Why in the world does she want to take art in school?" Mother says that's what she wants to do. That's her career. And Sister Mark said that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Isn't that
That's how you
something?
made your living, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's how I supported myself and my child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. But it was the best career you could imagine. I was a fashion illustrator. I loved clothes and I loved to draw. And the two combined, I mean, it was
Well, and
heaven on
you
earth.
worked for the Gazette.
Well,
Yeah.
not
And the
only
Democrats,
that,
yeah.
but you did a lot of
Arkansas
homes.
Gazette,
You sketched people's
Yeah.
houses. I have one you did of mine, and I
Yeah.
just love it.
And I did a lot of work for Brandon Furniture.
Hmm
So
Okay, I want to discuss something else that we used to do. I've thought of this a lot, y'all.
Said no.
I don't remember who the boarders were. It wasn't Phyllis. It's probably some freshmen.
Listen, I was scared to
And
death I wouldn't
they
get in
were
trouble.
dying for hamburgers. So Rose and I decided we would get them hamburgers one night, and they tied a pillowcase with a rope, and they let it down the side of the building. that little white, I can still see the little white thing going down the side of the building.
Isn't
I
that
think they were on the fourth floor,
hysterical?
third floor. And we put the hamburgers in and up it came and they ate their hamburgers.
That is cute.
I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
Where there's a will, there's a
What would
way.
we call high school girls this day and age who pull stunts like this?
Terrible.
Juvenile
all-
delinquents. Juvenile delinquents.
That's right.
probably.
Oh.
Right.
That
They
was
didn't know
innocent
any
fun.
better.
Yeah.
When
You know.
Phyllis and I met, you were still going to St. Mary. I didn't really know you when I was going to St. Mary's because you were a boarder and I was a day pupil. But I met you in high school then. You and I were in the same sorority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's how we got to meet each other.
Oh Lord, remember
And
the
really know
sororities?
each other.
I really
when
did.
we-
I really
When you
wasn't a
met
part.
somebody down
I wasn't a
south,
part of those
And then
ruffians.
we
you
decided
were
we were all
afraid you had to drop books and kneel down. I remember the first time that happened with my mother. She was angry.
Was that in high school?
Yeah.
What sorority?
Mu Epsilon Delta.
Yeah.
MED.
MED.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
It
Yeah,
was,
that's
probably
right.
unique to Mount St. Mary's.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Do
it
you
was.
all
we,
remember?
had, we had DBS, DAD, and Beta Delta in high school.
Oh no, we didn't. We just
MED was the only one they
Just
had
one
You
at,
had to
always.
throw
at
your
the
books
Mount.
down. I remember in genuflect.
Do any of y'all remember Pat Johnson?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, her brother died recently, and they listed her and her 2 children, but they didn't say anything else about her, whether she
What's
was
her married name? Or is she married?
deceased or whatever, and they didn't give the last name. And I kept up with her pretty much.
Oh, did you?
Yes, but then suddenly she's gone. And I tried to
Yeah.
get a hold of Pat,
A
her
lot
brother. Her brother's name was Pat, and she was Patricia. See, that was really.
Oh Lord. Were they twins?
No, he was younger. And anyway, he married somebody here, and they had a child. And then that connection, his first wife was related somehow to Ouija, Louise Katiski. And then Ouija was a good friend of mine, and
Her name was Mary Louise.
Katiski.
Yeah.
She had one of the reunions at her house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
She did. Well, anyway, we went down to see Patricia one weekend. She was in Pine Bluff. Well, see, Ouija was not allowed to drive out of town. Well, we went down to Pine Bluff. Pat met us and gave us a Coke. I have to say Patricia because Pat's her brother. And I made a mistake one time of calling her, asking for Pat, and her brother came on. Well, he was shocked, and I was too. But anyway, we drank that Coke and got in the car and raced back to Little Rock just fast as we could. We knew we were going to get caught. We didn't. Thank God we didn't have a wreck or anything. But
My God, we did so much and we didn't get caught.
Oh, Lord, yes.
We have really, all our life, we have been lucky.
Yes,
If
we have
parents
been.
had
Especially
known-
you and Rose.
Oh God.
Uh,
One time when a friend of ours died, was killed in a car wreck, Rose and my friend, and we had heard that his brother was killed later on. So we were going to drive over there to the house to see if there were a lot of people there or what was going on. And I sneaked out of my bedroom,
Window.
climbed out a window, but I left
Edith,
a note for my mother just in case she came in and I was missing. I left a note for my mother, but luckily I got back in before she found it.
did you ever show that note to your
No,
mother?
I never told her. I never told my mother anything bad.
I didn't
did.
either. We had, my parents used to go downtown every Saturday evening to pick up, shop together or pick up groceries or something. And at a certain age, I was pitching a fit. Please let me stay home alone. I didn't want to have to traipse after my parents. Like, I was a big girl. I didn't need
Yeah.
that. So anyway, this time I got to stay home alone. And, I was waiting. I was waiting for a date to
Can
come
you
pick me
see?
up. A friend
Yeah.
had fixed me up with a blind date. A friend of the boy she was dating. Anyway, I was in there sitting waiting for them to come, and I looked out on the front porch. We had a screened-in front porch, and 2 double windows going into the living room, and this humongous black man was in there looking in and trying
Oh.
to get the window open.
Oh.
Oh my God.
So I went in and got my father's .38 caliber pistol, which he had taught me to use a long time ago. And I went in there and held the gun up, and
Oh
that
my God.
man saw that gun, and you never saw anybody get off the front porch faster
Well, I
in your
guess
life.
so.
But I never told my parents about that.
Yeah.
You
because
never
I-
told us about that.
Ooh.
I don't remember about that either.
Oh.
First I've heard.
Ah, well, anyway, the kids came to the door then to pick me up, and I went to the door holding that gun.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I never heard from that boy again.
Oh
But
Lord.
I've never told my parents about that. They, to this day,
No, you
well,
got-
they know
You
now.
got to protect your parents.
Yes, yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh,
What
man.
else is on that list, Chuck?
Well, okay.
You're doing
since
good.
you asked,
It's a
I was
reminder.
just taking all that in. Ringing bells.
Oh my gosh, how could I forget that?
What?
This was Rose's idea.
No, it was Edith.
I guess
Your
it was.
red hair,
it was
really.
ours.
And you were all in the gang, the leader of all this gang work.
I didn't have anything to do with it. I was just there.
Ah, okay, well I'll tell the story then. I don't know who gave us the idea, and one of the girls that was one of the worst of us, she became a nun. Judy Keys.
Judy Key.
Oh, Judith.
Okay, what we did, there were several of us, and there was a bell outside, upstairs in the outside
The
in
bell
the
tower,
porch.
yeah.
Then there was a bell in the kitchen, and one other place. There were 3 places anyway. So we stationed someone at each place, had the car running, and at a certain time we would ring the bells and the big bell, and man, we'd take off after that. I don't know why we never got caught, but I think, did the nuns know?
They probably
oh, yeah.
knew.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
they
well, that
probably
was
did
a
with us.
tradition, ringing that bell in
Oh,
the bell
was it? I
tower. Oh
didn't know
yes,
that.
oh yeah.
And
And
we-
finally, they I don't know what locked the door that led to that bell tower. It was a bell tower.
Yeah.
Well, we got caught one time when we were on a retreat where we're supposed to be real holy, and we sneaked out in the evening and met Judy and baby, I guess, met somebody. Somehow we got into the gym and we were playing basketball.
Oh.
And we heard Sister Mark and the custodian coming, and we had to get out this window. It wasn't any bigger than that, and a big long drop. And we skedaddled, and everybody was jumping out that window, and I got to it. I couldn't jump, it was too high. And whoever was behind me.
Pushed you.
Were you in on that prank?
And the
Oh
next,
no, I didn't have anything to do
Oh.
I find that hard to believe.
the next day, Sister Mark called us into her office.
Oh.
Girls, was that you last night in the gym? No, sister. No. Here comes Mother Perpetua, whatever her name was. No, Mother, that was not us. I think we just lied through our teeth. We never did admit it.
No.
That
We
was
didn't do
fun.
it. We didn't do it.
No, we didn't. That wasn't us. That was some other person.
Isn't that hilarious?
I want to reiterate, I was not in on any of
I
it.
wasn't either. I wasn't. I didn't
Y'all
have
missed
anything
a
to
lot
do
of fun.
How
I
did we miss all of that?
I don't know.
I know Phyllis was, well, you were a boarder, so you did.
Only just about a year. I came in at halftime in the 7th grade.
But then
And then in the middle of the 8th grade, I became a day student.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. And
I
Ouija
forgot
picked me
I
up
had-
every day and took me home every day.
Oh, really?
I couldn't get involved. I had to get on the streetcar, and it had to take me home, or else I wouldn't be able to get home. So
Oh, we all
I didn't.
rode the
Yeah, but you
streetcar.
all
Oh,
drove.
yeah.
I didn't
yeah,
drive.
I
remember
rode the streetcar.
afternoon we were on that, there was 4 of us. I don't remember you and
Wasn't me.
Annie
We
and,
had basketball.
well, there were 4 of us and Ed. And
Was
there
that
were 4
when-
of us sitting there, and we pulled up at Stiff Station. We were headed towards Maine to transfer to other lines. And all of a sudden, the blacks, at that time, segregation, the blacks all had to sit in the rear of the streetcar. And all of a sudden, this one black gal jumped up and went screaming down the aisle towards the streetcar driver and screaming bloody murder. And this other one after her with a razor.
Oh,
my God.
Lord.
I'm gonna cut your black heart out. Anyway,
Oh, my
she'd been
God.
messing with her man. And she was just about to catch this poor gal. And the driver opened the door real fast so they could get out.
Oh,
I
that was
mean, they
smart.
get out in a hurry, yeah. And then
Mm.
he shut the door real fast.
Oh.
And he told all of us, now, everybody just sit down, stay in your seat a minute. Anyway, they got off there at Stiff Station, and this one gal was running down. You remember those steep stairs there on the other side?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
fell down those stairs.
Mm.
Oh my God.
And here was this other one with the razor, hot after her. Boy, I don't know whether she actually cut her or not, but
Mm.
we didn't stay around.
Woo.
Thank goodness the streetcar driver got that thing started and going. We got out of
That
there.
was smart.
I wondered, I don't guess anybody ever called the police.
Probably
Remember
not.
the streetcar? Y'all remember they used to
Yes.
have sand that they
Uh-huh.
could let out if there was snow, and
Yeah.
then get
Oh, yeah.
back there and let all that sand
That's
out.
right.
I don't
And pull
remember
the-
that.
That was
Pull that
Rose.
rope.
Pull the chain,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Those are wonderful streetcars. They have these straw covered
Seats.
And you could move
And
them
you could
too.
move 'em,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, if they went around the corner real
Yeah.
fast, I'd just slide right out. I didn't weigh a lot.
Those
And
are
it just
wonderful.
out I
And
went.
They were
example,
something else.
We would pull the connection. They were connected by wires to their source of energy.
Yeah, with
Up
electric.
above.
Source of electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we would pull those things, and the car would come to a stop.
Oh.
And
They
the
were-
driver would be so he would have to go
Yeah,
out.
oh,
He would
yeah.
have to go out, and we thought we were just so mischievous and everything, but we were just causing trouble.
Oh, I bet they probably took chances on who had to drive the St. Mary's Street.
Yeah.
It's a punishment.
Yeah.
The streetcar line, that particular one ended there not too far from my house. And you got up and it was a turnaround, a circle.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it turned around there and then came back downtown. And at the end of that circle, there was a steep cliff
Mm.
that dropped off to railroad tracks.
Ooh.
And the 2 little girls that grew up with me, the 3 of us girls, we used to go down there all the time and hide. It was all wooded, and we would hide in the woods and spy on the tramps or the bums.
My Lord.
This was in the days when these were just poor men out of a job and they were out looking for work. There was
Hobos.
no
Probably
thugs
like
or,
hobos.
drunks or rapists or crackheads or anything. Just people looking for work. But we used to do that all the time. To my knowledge,
I missed a lot.
They never
Did
saw
you?
any of us, either of us. But if our parents had
I
known
lived in
that,
North Little Rock too.
God.
North Little Rock.
And there were
Rose was.
a
I don't know how
series
she
of
got with
caves
them,
that
but
they had
the rest of
carved out
them
in
all
this
lived in Little Rock.
cliff, and that's where they stayed. They
Wow.
built their little bonfire in there and cooked
Yeah.
and
I remember
slept.
they used to come to the door with Mother and ask for food,
Yeah,
and she would fix them this homemade bread, great
Yeah.
big sandwich. We didn't have enough to eat ourselves, but she always fed them.
Mother did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my dad always warned her, said, "You be sure and keep the screen door hooked,
Yeah.
and just tell them to wait, and you go in and give them something to eat,
Oh
y'all."
yeah. and didn't
Not
let
like
'em
that
in.
screen door was gonna keep them from coming in.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
One pull and it's chain.
I missed a lot. I don't remember anything like that.
I remember being
Shall we
poor.
tell the Al Jolson story?
Al Jolson.
Al Jolson story.
I haven't heard that, yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
remember that.
Oh, but
Oh, you do.
you remember what's her name?
First, we'll have to describe the building, the Mount St. Mary's building. Remember, it had the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
Okay, the
Sister-
steps up to the first floor,
Uh-huh,
steps up to the second floor,
yeah.
and third and fourth, and another set farther down,
Yeah,
And no elevator.
and no elevator, right?
at that time.
Yeah.
And we all had lunch about the same time.
Yeah, we did.
All of the freshmen had lunch same time, sophomores. And at that time, a student that graduated from Mount St. Mary's had married Al Jolson.
I remember
Yes,
that.
yes.
Remember?
I sure
She was a
do.
lot younger than
Now
him.
that you have
She
repeated
married
it, yeah.
him for prestige because
Well, she
she
got
was
it.
real young.
Everybody knew that at school, and it was really, oh, can you believe she married Al Jolson? So,
I do remember
got to
hearing
think about
that.
it.
I
So
wasn't
at
there.
lunchtime, we decided, that was Edith really that did it.
Payback.
We decided that we'd start the story that Al Jolson and his bride, whoever she was, I can't remember, were at St. Mary's, and they went down the
Something
hall
Galbraith-
right that
Galbraith.
way.
Oh, my Lord.
So everybody starts going down the hall that way, and then we go the other way and say, "Oh no, went up to the first floor," and we had everybody going up and down stairs all over those floors. I mean, those nuns were about to.
So crazy.
I had not heard that one.
Yeah, I remember that.
You do?
Oh yeah, I remember
It was funny
that.
because we had everybody running in every direction.
Every direction.
And one would spread it one way, and somebody'd say, "Oh no, they went that way."
We had to tell them about the time that we were in Paris and Montmartre.
Oh, yeah,
And
with
this young man, there were 4 of us girls, and these 2, well, how many were there, 2 or 3 boys?
One.
No.
Just
Three
Three of them, Well,
thought there
they
was only
started
one.
following us all around Montmartre, or however you pronounce it, Montmartre. And they zoned in on Rose and started calling her Monica. For
Mhm.
some reason, this was
That
just
was when Monica Lewinsky
that
was
was just
popular.
after
Yeah,
the
right.
Lewinsky
Yeah.
doodad. And
Do that.
well, you want me to call it his real name? we're being filmed, remember? Anyway, they followed us all over, and what was that?
He had a rose.
Rose
That was the
practically
second part.
crawled
He
in
was-
Edith's purse trying to get away from him.
He
Yeah.
wanted to go to America. Remember?
He ran
Yeah,
into
he
her
was-
later.
So then,
He just hooked to us. I mean, when he
Edith said, "Oh, I can hardly wait to get back and tell Bill about this."
Bill, her husband.
and then
Yeah.
he saw her again.
Yeah, he came up again.
Gave you a rose.
Came up again.
Yeah.
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 He was cute.
Oh yeah, he was cute. He wanted to go to America.
Oh.
I was like, Monica
Take
Lewinsky,
him in
can
your
you
suit,
imagine?
take him in your suitcase.
Yeah. Oh dear.
That trip though was wild.
And this one right here, the smartest one in our class ever.
Lost her passport.
Yeah. And money. We had left Italy and were on the road,
On the tour bus.
and she couldn't find it. Lord have mercy. I thought, now how can I help
I
her?
just went. I melted
How
down
can
in my
I
seat.
help
I
her?
was so, I didn't know
And
what
I
to do.
thought, well, now I've got enough money, I believe, to put us up at night. And we'll go to the consulate. Is that the way you say it? Consulate.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Passport.
we'll get a passport. I've got one, so they have to believe me. Well, you know. Anyway, I've never prayed so hard in my life to every saint I'd ever heard of, hoping and
did.
hoping
John,
and hoping.
John stopped the bus and
Oh.
and let us
Yeah.
let us
Us
look
walkers,
and,
You
and,
found
Our
it, didn't you?
suitcase.
no, it was in her suitcase.
Yeah,
They opened it.
You found it? I thought
It was
you
right
found it.
on top.
Well, it was right on
right
top
on
of the
top.
suitcase.
Yeah.
What
it-
happened
she-
was, at the last minute, we were getting dressed and everything, and at the very last minute, my
Just put it in.
suitcase was there, and it was ready to close and everything, and I took my money belt that had all that information in it, and put it right on top of my clothes. That was a dumb thing to do. I don't
Well,
know
you
why I
did it
And
nonchalant.
zipped
I
the
mean, you weren't
suitcase
thinking.
And put it out.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
telling you.
they wanted that out in the front where they could pick up, and they wanted it out there by 7 o'clock, and you're jumping and
Yeah,
trying to.
yeah.
and
That
that's
was
re-
if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium. I'm telling you,
Oh.
for 70-year-old, we were 70 years old.
That
No,
year.
no,
Yes, we were that
Well,
year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
2000, the year
2000.
2000.
She was asking me that a while
You
ago.
were not. Maybe you weren't. You were the youngest, weren't you?
Every night, I mean, every morning,
What was that? Was
we
that,
had
that
to
was
be up at
2000, yeah.
6 o'clock with our suitcases
69.
outside the door, which means we had to be dressed and everything.
Have it out there to be
And
picked
go
up.
down to breakfast and be ready to
Yeah.
roll.
Right.
When I got home, I thought, Lord, I will never get rested up after that. But it was a wonderful,
Oh, it
wonderful
was a
trip.
most wonderful trip.
Oh, I was so glad you.
Everybody
I
on the
was
bus
so
wanted to be
thrilled
with
you
us.
found it.
Yeah.
They did. Everybody wanted to sit with us.
Wanted to
'cause
sit
we were
with
always
us.
Do
having
we
so
wanna
much
bring
fun.
up, John and what they,
And
I'm not going to.
Edith. Oh,
I'm not going.
that was
Oh,
the
no, that
funniest
should be-
thing I have ever heard in my life. Was
should be.
Edith's face when he came over and wanted to know what we were talking about.
we were
We
laughing
were laughing so
We were.
hard.
out, at
I just
we were
almost
We were out
lost
at
my
Edie.
outdoor,
breath.
supper picnic supper.
in
It was
Rome.
outdoors.
It was in Rome, yeah.
Outdoors,
Yeah, at the
And we were
Piazza,
all just
uh,
about to die
Navona.
laughing. And he couldn't stand it. He wanted to come over there and get in all of what in the world is going on? What are you?
And of course, then we really got hysterical. That was funniest thing.
We couldn't tell him, and then he
Well,
got
we
his.
finally did tell him.
Well, he got his feelings
I didn't.
hurt.
I
You
didn't
don't
tell
remember
him.
that. I know we
Yeah,
was
we
in-
finally told
He
him.
was very embarrassed, that's all.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, he should have
I'm
been.
embarrassed to tell. I'm not telling
No,
you.
no, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
No, we don't want this on our tape.
No.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
tell you later.
Yeah, we'll tell you later. But we laughed all the way through Europe
We
and back
did.
again.
We did.
And everybody wanted to sit at our table, and we were the oldest.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, we were the oldest
Definitely.
on the bus.
But everybody wanted to sit at our
We had the
table.
best time. We giggled and laughed.
Remember they coined us the Golden Girls?
That's where we.
Oh, the bishop did.
The
The
bishop
bishop
did
did
that.
when he
Yeah,
blessed
the
us
bishop
before we
was,
left.
McDonald.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was the one that did that.
When
Yeah.
he was here.
Oh, and remember we were at a private dinner in Rome, and they had a piano player there.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
You know he had listened to American records because in every song he played and sang, he sang like a different artist, a singer, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
Style. of the
U.S. Uh-huh.
But we had been partaking of the fruit of the vine a little bit.
Little bit.
Speak for yourself, huh?
That was
So Eddie
funny.
kept
I
saying,
don't need to drink. I'm so
He
wacky.
is just wonderful. He's just one. I'm gonna
That
tip
is the
him.
cutest
I'm gonna-
thing.
And then what?
She said it several times. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tip him. I'm gonna tip him.
I'm just gonna give him all my money.
Yeah, she ended up.
I do remember
She
that.
practically cried.
Do you
Whenever
remember
I
that?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I said,
wasn't
"Oh
drunk."
no, you're not."
He played one that really
Yeah,
got
got
you,
her.
and you had started crying.
Yeah, well,
You
that
were
was
crying in
the
your
that was the wine I was drinking.
Oh gosh, that was
And,
funny.
Auntie
that was
Law.
a wonderful
Auntie Law.
trip.
That
It
was what it
was.
was. That was the name of the
And
song.
What was it?
Auntie Law.
I never heard
It
of
comes from
that.
the comes from the movie Rome Adventure with Suzanne Plachette. They played it in there.
Well, it's because it was Italian.
What?
That
Yeah.
she's the only one
song
that knew what it
That
was.
he was singing. That I said I was
Oh,
going to
Yeah.
give him a big
Her
tip.
father's favorite. What?
My father
That
was,
made me cry too, Eddie.
you know,
Yeah.
but it was,
And then we finally ended up at the Vatican. Well, that wasn't the end of it there, but
No.
we did.
We didn't have much fun there, we couldn't do anything.
No.
It was raining, it wasn't raining.
It was,
when
yeah.
we were
uh-huh.
trying
It
to,
started raining.
And I
yeah.
think you and I stood in line to get into the.
I don't remember that you were with me, I know I
The-
did.
the
I
worst
was-
You
part-
were
worst
absolutely
was-
determined to take Annette
I
to
think
the.
I was-
St.
I was
Peter's.
the only one who had
We're the
never
ones
been
that,
in
at the
St.
other one,
Peters
that was the
before.
same
I had
day.
been to
No,
Rome
when
before,
did
everybody
we go
else
to,
had been. And so,
Versailles, where was
I
it?
stood
Where,
in
where was
line
it
and I
when
went
we,
in.
when we
Well,
went?
it's a
That
big
was
church,
Versailles.
that's
We
all.
were there.
In Versailles was where you and I
It
took
was
off and
so
tried to get
hot.
out of that place,
It
and we
was
finally
so
made our
hot,
way out.
my
That
Lord.
Michelangelo,
Yeah.
Well, I just knew I was
yeah.
gonna faint
That's
any
the-
minute. It
that's
was
the
too
Sistine-
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's the Sistine
And then
Chapel.
the,
Sistine Chapel, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we got a
then
good
those
view of
carved
that.
Yeah,
pillars.
I love that.
Yeah, that was really.
That was
Oh,
my
man.
favorite.
They had
Yeah,
just
and I
redone
thought,
it
Yeah.
when we saw it.
When it
Yeah.
rained, we were
Going
in
around
that
the main
piazza,
altar.
weren't we there at the,
Sistine
for
Chapel?
Piazza
No,
Navona,
no.
Navona,
In St.
where they had,
Peter's.
where the
The main
Bernini
altar.
fountain is?
It's
Wasn't
got
that
those
where we
humongous
were?
Really?
carved-
I don't,
There's
You know,
But-
it had,
pillars.
St. Peter's was right there.
yes, it
You
wasn't
know,
very far.
Phyllis,
When you talk
you
about,
stayed in the bus, didn't you?
big, it
Seems to me
reminds
you
of
were in the
those
bus.
Doors in Heidelberg at the
Recuperating
castle.
or
Y'all
something.
remember?
Now, I was only one time, and that was when you all went to the Coliseum. I absolutely was exhausted. Plus, I was starving to death. And the bus driver stayed with me and gave me half this lunch.
Is that right?
And I promptly went to sleep. I curled up on the last seat
Yeah.
in the bus and went to sleep. I was never been so tired in my life.
And you know,
What
there's a
was that?
saying that when people come back from a trip, like when they go, they're close friends, and when they come back, they're at each other's throats.
We weren't.
never.
Never.
Never, we were
Just the
never,
opposite,
We got
really.
even closer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're more like sisters
right.
than
that's
just
very
friends.
true. We're like sisters.
Plus the fact that we know too much on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lived through a lot together,
Yeah.
anyway.
We've had a great,
Well,
it was a great time, and it
Do
was,
any of us have sisters? I don't.
no, I have a brother, but I don't
No,
have a sister.
we don't.
Either.
Nobody has a sister.
I
Uh-uh.
don't
Oh,
have a daughter.
I have not thought of that
Mhm.
either.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. None of us have sisters.
We should-
I don't have a brother either. Well, I tell you, Mother and Daddy had me, and that was it.
Yeah.
We all got
None of us have ever
brothers.
thought of
I've
that.
got a brother.
That's interesting.
I don't.
None of us have had sisters, so we
And
don't
Ed had a
like
brother.
and that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Edith didn't have a brother.
No.
Yes.
We got 3 separate conversations going on here.
Oh, that's not bad. There's 6 of us.
We gotta stay together, don't we?
So, are you moving, dear? So let's go over a little stuff here. Just I've been picking up a lot of things. So
I bet you have.
just a
No
few
blackmail.
things. Just a few things. So what's it like to have lifelong friends like you have?
It's a blessing.
It's a
Absolutely a
What's
blessing.
it like to have lifelong friends like?
It's a blessing.
It's
Oh,
the
it
greatest
is a blessing.
blessing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
It is a
wonderful.
blessing.
You have so much that you share, and you know what the other one is talking about.
And you
Yeah.
don't have to work
That's
I don't-
exactly
to be
right.
friends
Yeah,
with
when
them.
I don't believe
Yeah.
anyone's
Reminisce.
ever been able to coin
The
a
others know
word that would
what it is
describe
you're
it.
talking about. I think that's what's so great.
So
So
what
many
was
people
wonderful.
have told me you are so lucky to have lifelong friends.
Yeah,
You know?
me
Yeah,
too.
we are.
And I've got friends that say, I don't know who, I'm not friends with somebody I knew 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And, when I tell you,
It came at a
You're
good
my
time for
lifelong
me
friend, literally.
because
Yeah, she
when
is.
I had lost Dale,
Isn't that great?
I didn't
Oh,
care
my.
anything. I didn't
It's
care.
wonderful.
Didn't
Yeah.
care if I lived or died. And
And we went
Along
to the
came the-
same
the Golden
school,
Girls.
And we have all the
And they-
same memories. You know?
Yeah.
It's really
That's the blessing, the same memory.
I'll
yeah.
call Annette from Texas, you know, now that I don't live at home anymore. And I'll say, do you remember so and so, so and so? Oh, yeah.
Sounds like she
Are
ran
they
away,
still
doesn't
living?
it?
Oh, yeah.
that
That's kind
that's
of
a topic of
sad,
conversation
that's
now,
a
isn't
sad stage of life to get to.
Yeah.
On our drive-in, Radine was saying, you know, she's homesick for Little Rock because of y'all.
it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is-
Yes.
This is home still.
Right, right.
She says that all the time.
I think very
Yeah.
few people have what we have,
But we're so lucky
and what
to
we
have
have
the
had,
telephone.
and what we still have.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah,
telephone we
really
can
do.
just
It
pick
doesn't
up.
even cost extra.
Yeah.
And if there's anything we needed, all we have to do is call one of these.
Very
And
true.
It's always a way for us to get around.
I remember one time when I went to the hospital, I had a blood clot in my leg, and my first thought was, well, let the girls know, you know, and the only telephone number I had from memory is Edith, so I called Edith. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
But anyway, we do try to let each other know what's going on with
Yes.
each other,
We do.
you know, and it means a lot.
Because we want to know.
Yeah,
oh yes, absolutely.
right.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
After I fell and injured, I was in the hospital and then went into rehab, and they all sent me this gorgeous bouquet of flowers, and with the East sign their name, and all the
I don't
nurses
think
would
I
come
ever
in
gave you
and
any money for
say,
that
oh,
either.
oh,
Yeah, you
where did you
did.
get the flowers?
You did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I said, that's from the
Everybody
Golden Girls. And then I had to explain what the Golden Girls were.
Did you must tell them about the balloon.
If I didn't.
The what?
Balloon
You did.
in the
Listen,
bouquet.
Take your box for the
Okay.
cookies with you.
Yeah, what did that say? I don't remember.
I don't know what it said. You told me you had a balloon in your
Yeah,
bouquet, but
yeah.
you didn't say.
I think it just said get well soon.
Probably
Really?
something simple.
Even, I remember when we were in Frankie's one time, when we had our monthly meeting, you know, since our 50th anniversary, at our anniversary, we said it was so great to be together that once a month we were
Yeah.
going to
Well, and it's
eat
filled by
lunch
the
together,
way.
and we
Well.
eat lunch at Frankie's once a month. Well, we do our best now.
First
Yeah.
Monday of the month.
Yeah, first Monday, what did I say?
You said once a month,
Okay,
yeah.
first Monday of the month, yeah. But anyway, why did I start that?
Well, because the whole class started coming in.
Oh, yeah, well.
Just the 6 of us did it, and then pretty soon the whole class was.
But we
that was our
invited
president.
everybody, and we were about 12 or 15 at first.
Yeah, that's right.
We had a lot of people who came every month, and then it just gradually dwindled down, and Rose is now our last driver.
The official driver.
The
yeah.
official driver
Yeah.
of the group, yeah.
Well, I could still drive, but I'm in Texas.
Well, why don't you come?
Why don't you come join us?
every month?
Oh, Lord, you don't know.
Pick
how
us
much
all
I
up.
could.
She would love to.
Yeah.
There's
I
just-
tell you.
I have made
I don't
some
see as
wonderful
well, so
friends
that,
in
you know, that
Texas.
puts
They're
me out
beautiful
of as
people.
far as
But
going very
there's
far.
not like.
I couldn't even
not
pass
like
my
us.
driver's test, so you know I don't
What
have
else
any
is on
business
my
driving.
list,
Well, I
No.
think you kind of covered most of it.
What about our
The
career?
movie in St. Louis.
What?
Oh, yeah, when we were on retreat. Do you remember that?
No.
I wasn't there, I
All
know.
the
I don't
officers,
remember anything
wasn't
about
all
it.
the officers of the Sodality got to go on not a retreat, a convention in St. Louis with Father Lord or
The Lord,
Father
yeah,
somebody.
yeah. uh-huh.
And we stayed in this
Summer School of Catholic Action.
convent.
Oh, yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Oh, we stayed at a
Oh,
convent.
remind me.
convent,
I want to
yeah.
tell you about
And I think
Um,
it was a 5-day thing.
going
Anyway,
to.
one
Had to
night,
go Friday
Rose
to
and
get a
I
mammogram.
decided,
Remind me. I want to tell you
decided we were
something
going to a
because it
movie.
has you in it.
We were tired of the retreat thing, or
Too
the,
much praying.
the business, yeah.
Too much praying.
Anyway, we decided to go to a movie, which we did. But when we got back, we couldn't get in. The doors were locked.
Oh.
And
This was at a convent in St. Louis.
yeah,
I can't remember how we got in.
we
Well, I
threw
wasn't with
rocks
them
at
on that.
Annette's window. She came down and let us in.
Oh.
It's a good thing they didn't have alarm systems back then.
Oh, my gosh.
Lord. You'd have been in jail, sure enough.
Indeed.
No.
Well, I think we're about talked out. Honey.
Were we going to go into each one's life and tell what career we had or how
Why,
many
we
kids?
don't have to tell.
No.
Oh,
No.
I don't want to tell about me.
No.
I'm pretty
We
proud
know
of what
that,
I
yeah.
did.
Well, I am too,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
I educated
it's
a
such
child
it
that
was such a
More
struggle.
suggestions?
for 6 years in college. I
Questions, but I don't know if I'll answer 'em.
Oh, okay.
questions.
Okay, so I've heard many, many times Mom say, of course, this is a one-sided discussion, that Rose was the ringleader.
She was.
That's
She-
true. No, I
they
didn't
were
even
kinda
know how to
equal.
do those things.
I'd like to know things like riding the streetcar to school, things that were different back then, yeah, as today.
Yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
rode the streetcar to school? Can you
Yeah.
imagine letting your child, go to school on a streetcar today?
Oh, God.
Well,
I
that-
hadn't even thought about
we
that.
went-
It was a different world.
Entirely.
What are the, what are the
Yeah.
things that were
There
different?
wasn't as much,
We didn't
just
know
pure
about
old meanness
it. There,
and danger.
we didn't
out
know
there.
about
Well,
it.
also, I think that uniform we wore was a pretty good indication that
Don't fool with me. Sister
Right.
Mark will get you.
She would, oh.
I know I got
Declan would.
I remember when I was kind of little.
Before you close all of this, and we told about all the pranks that we pulled, I do want you to know that we were very good students.
Yeah.
We were National Honor students.
Yes.
Not
And
me.
the
me.
nuns loved us, and
Yeah.
they really liked the little pranks we pulled.
Right.
They
Gosh.
wouldn't admit it, but they did. They laughed.
They
I'll,
did.
I'll tell you something that these good girls did. We were in charge of putting the report card grades on the permanent records.
Oh no,
Ah!
Edith. I don't want to.
Annette, don't listen.
Okay.
If some of our friends made a something minus, it ended up a plus.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Let's see.
I didn't do that. Now she did that.
Yeah, you taught me. I can't remember. Oh, a D was changed to a B.
Uh-huh. Oh, how
Oh.
funny.
Oh my
Did we really
goodness.
do that? I don't believe it.
Yeah, we
You
did.
dreamed that.
No, we did.
Annette, you're not listening to this.
No, I'm
No,
not.
because that was bad.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
that
I don't
was-
remember
That
that.
was just out and out
Yeah,
cheating.
we did that.
Do you
For-
really
for our
think the nuns
friends.
didn't know better?
If you were a friend, you were in.
Oh, gosh, I hope I was.
I don't know, 'cause I wasn't with these girls. They were just.
I wasn't either, but
Y'all
I.
didn't change any of my
Nobody
grades.
was with us, it
She
seemed.
did it by herself. I wasn't
Nobody,
there.
nobody
I
ever
remember these
changed
great
my
big
grades.
ledgers. that
We
were the
we
permanent
we
records.
didn't get real close. I didn't get real
Yeah.
close until
Did we really do that? I don't
like till
remember that.
till the
Tell the truth.
trail the trips.
You nobody
Yeah,
ever changed
until
my
after
grades.
my husband had passed
And
away,
Lord
and
knows
we
I
were,
needed help.
you know, I was in a
Just
different
certain
world.
things that you
So,
could change.
Yeah.
and these, it all came
Maybe
back.
that's,
Oh,
How
yeah.
did you
Well,
get
I
in
didn't.
the office?
if I did that.
Oh, well, they asked us to record it on
Oh,
the report
oh.
cards.
oh, so you suckered them.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Is there a better way?
Anything all about that.
I cheated.
But
yeah.
the nuns in general were very, as Rose said, they loved us and they knew us and they were interested in us and encouraged us in the things that we were good at
That's true.
and tried to inspire us to do well and to keep achieving after we left St. Mary's. And I
We
will say,
achieved.
from the material that I get now from St. Mary's, I don't know if you all get all the stuff that I
yeah.
get, but anyway, they still still seems to be a great school, and I'm proud that my nieces are able to go there. And it's not the same as we were in
No.
any way.
Oh, nothing is.
And
Yeah.
nothing is, but it's still a wonderful school, and we are deeply grateful for everything we got
Oh,
there.
I
Oh,
am
yeah.
for sure.
I
We
would. I don't
often
think I
say
would
that.
be
We
here
often
where I am
say
right
that,
now
Yeah.
if it hadn't
Well-
been for going to school at
I have a story I want to tell you
Proud to
all.
be
meeting all of,
St.
meeting all of you people.
hmm
I mean, you're,
I want
you're
to tell y'all
most of
something.
my life.
Years ago, and I can't tell you the exact year, but I was working and certainly out of school. Ouija was not working. She never did work, but we were out of school. And one day I said, I found out, somebody told me, Sister Declan was in Hot Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And she was not well. She was at the hospital. I said, I'm going home and call her and tell her we're going to come over and take her to lunch. What do you think? She said, great. Use my phone. I said, sure. So we went in her house and we called Sister Declan. And I told her that Louise and I were going to come over and see her and take her to lunch. And would she please tell us how many she wanted to go with her? And she said, well, I don't have to have anybody now. And I said, okay, but we'll be there, and I'll call you back and tell you the day and time we can get together and see if it's all right with you. She said, fine. I didn't want to write her because I knew I wouldn't spell all the words right.
Yeah.
So I called her and told her we were going to come on such and such a day. And we went that day, and we picked her up, and we took her to lunch, someplace she knew about. And we went in and we had lunch, and she didn't have to have anybody with her. And then,
Was she still in her habit?
oh
And
yes,
still wearing
she had the whole thing, not just part of it, like they used to. They went to part of it. And so we were talking, and she said, Phyllis Ann, does your mother still make those wonderful cakes?
Oh my
And I
goodness.
said, how on
Oh,
earth
wow.
could you remember this, sister?
Yeah.
My goodness, how many girls did you have?
Yeah.
And how could you remember? She said, oh, I never forgot that wonderful cake. Mother brought one to the school on my
Yeah.
birthday, and up in our third floor area. And we all had a piece of cake, and Sister had a piece.
Wow.
I don't think she ate it with us, but she had a piece.
What a memory.
Anyway, I was so impressed with her. How could she remember me with all of those girls?
I was scared to death of that nun.
Really?
Oh,
Declan?
Sister Declan.
Oh,
yeah.
I adored
She,
her.
Oh,
and
me
she
too.
did not like me because in her chemistry class or
Oh.
biology class, we got to the point where we were dissecting frogs, and I almost fainted, and I created quite a scene. I thought I was going to throw up, and she was totally disgusted with me, and
That doesn't sound like her.
well.
Sometimes I think they make it look that way.
Raylene carried on an awful lot.
Yeah.
Probably it. That's probably it.
That's probably true.
She may have heard about that snake. Well, no, nobody ever found out I did that.
No.
No.
Oh,
Well, Mary Myers got in trouble because she didn't have a uniform on, and it's the funniest thing I ever heard. I laughed until I was crying, and
that
she
Mary
kicked me
Myers.
out. I had to go sit on the steps outside, and finally she came out. Then I was crying and laughing and carrying on, making a big to-do, and she marched me down to Sister Dorothea, the
Oh,
head
Lord,
woman. Scared to death. I couldn't say a word when I got to her office, not one word.
You weren't crying and laughing, were you?
No, and nothing. I was just
I
stoned.
remember the name. I can't remember her.
Yeah, she was the mother superior there.
Oh,
When I started there, I guess she was the whole time I was there, wasn't she?
Probably, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we
she
ever
was.
changed.
Sister Dorothea?
What
Yeah.
about her?
she was over Sister Mark then.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
over all
That
of
was
them.
another
Well,
one.
Through
Sister
our
Mark was
senior
just-
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, anyway, I got kicked out of class, too. But I thought, Lord, my mother's going to have to come.
Oh,
And she would just kill me dead on the
They
spot.
had you answering the phone there one time.
Ooh.
Phyllis answered the phone rang. I don't know, was this in the
Study
office
hall.
or
Yeah,
something?
it was in study hall at
Anyway,
night.
Phyllis picked it up and said, well, it's your nickel, start talking. And
Oh my gosh.
and it was the bishop.
Oh,
I said, wrong number, clunk. And then I had to go to the bathroom and get out of the way.
I bet.
I was scared that they were going to catch me and know who did it.
Oh,
But
my
that's
God.
when the
Wonder what he thought.
boarders had study hall after supper. We had an hour, I think, study hall, and he called Ben.
Oh,
And for some reason, I got to answer the phone that day. Boy, I tell you, I never, ever.
You never answered it again, I don't
Oh,
think you
I
told
just
me.
lied about everything. I would, no. Mm-mm.
Oh, my.
If you hadn't told me who he was.
You had daughters. I know.
None of us. Oh, daughters.
Daughters, I got one.
Daughters.
You've got a daughter.
You
I have a daughter, yeah.
Hey, did they go down?
Yes.
Okay, so, you talked about the bell. Did y'all, I know Christy did, but did your daughters go up to the bell tower and sign?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
Christy
don't
signed
think so.
it before they tore it down, and she got
don't
one of the
think so.
boards with our names on it.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
how nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be
I wonder
wonderful.
what happened to it, but I've got a picture of it, of her with it.
Oh, for
Well,
heaven's
Yeah.
sakes.
Yeah, that was interesting. We used to go up there. We had to go through the nuns' living quarters to get up to
How in the
You're
world
allowed
could you
up
get
there.
through
I
that?
don't even remember
That was off limits.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think there was
Yeah,
another
it was
way
just
to
Rose.
get up there. Seems to me.
Rose told me about it.
I wasn't in on that either.
She did.
Me either. Even though I played basketball with these two.
I think the seniors talked us into that, didn't they?
Probably.
It was kind of traditional for the seniors to go up and sign their
Do it,
name.
yeah.
If they could.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right, and we
Thank you.
saw some of the seniors that you used to play basketball with, yeah,
mm.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So were
funny.
y'all in fear of the nuns at all?
I was.
No.
In
I
really?
was, yes.
A little, I think a
In
little.
In fear, did we?
No, I really
Respect
liked
mostly, I believe.
They
See,
liked
Yeah,
us too.
yeah.
They did.
Yeah,
They-
they did.
I don't think they liked me.
these girls don't know it, but I had never seen a nun when I went to school out there. Never in my life.
That must have been a shock.
It was. My mother and I marched through. We rang the bell, mother did, and they came to the door and they took us down, and it was Christmas, and they had the
Nativity.
manger scene out, life size, and that was a surprise. And I didn't say one word. We got back to Sister Dorothea, and I was mute. I didn't say anything, and I'm sure she thought I was deaf. I don't know what she
How
thought.
old were you? A freshman? I mean.
Yeah,
you started as a
midterm,
freshman.
midterm. So how would I have been?
Yeah,
And see, that was what, 9th grade?
Yeah.
yeah,
9th. Okay, so
15,
I would have been,
44 and 44.
Be about,
Anyway,
44. no, she
you'd never
wasn't that
seen a
old.
nun before.
about
That-
14.
well,
You were
no, I wasn't 14 until October, so that would have been
That was sooner.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just 14, I
13,
guess,
14,
in October. Well, anyway,
Are
it
we
was
finished?
something.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. I know it's kind of hot on these lights and stuff,
Okay.
but I thought I get each of you relating a story, maybe your favorite story, maybe you even said it already, but hopefully not, about the others. The others. So I'm gonna
Oh
start
gosh,
with Rose.
wait a minute, let us,
I don't
let us
have
think
one.
about
I've
that.
already told everything I know.
We
So,
want to
just-
just tell a story that we remember
Well,
about
like,
the group
Tell a
or
story about
individual.
what you remember about.
I've already told everything I know.
I don't have one.
Chuck, we've already told most of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's not so much. It's about love. It's about
About
Yeah.
love.
the camaraderie.
Friendship.
Oh, I've-
shared experiences.
Loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got something.
I don't.
Go
Do you
ahead.
want to? Do you want to do
Oh,
mine
yeah.
first?
Well, I will.
Okay, hold on. She can. She really is pretty good on camera, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
She practiced.
This is like the 4th time I've interviewed you, and
Well, yeah, that's true.
you're rocking it pretty good.
Well, I hope I don't start crying.
You're not. You're not.
Um,
I will, but you won't.
I just want to say that I have been so lucky in having Rose as a friend. She's more than a friend, and she's been through everything with me, including my husband leaving. She's always there when I need her. She gives me good advice, and she fusses at me too sometimes, probably when I need it,
Well, that's a
or
friend.
even when I don't need it. I treasure her. I hope she knows that.
Anybody else?
Well, I hope you know we all treasure you,
I
Edith.
do know that, and I want you to know I treasure your friendship as well. Couldn't have made it through all those years that I've been here without you. No.
Yeah, it's mutual.
We've
And
all
that
been,
apply, that goes for everybody that's here.
Right.
we've
Yes.
all been through
Mm-hmm.
some tough times in our lives, and we've been there for each other. We've had
I think they,
deaths in the family, divorces,
I think they
illness.
saved my life, I think, when my husband passed away. And it was hard, and then
It is
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
the life changed, and then the Golden Girls came along, and that's probably why I'm sitting here today.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, the hardest thing
mutual.
I've ever done was to have to move away and leave you girls here, because I knew full well that I would never find true friendship anywhere else like I had here.
Yeah.
But I am thankful that I had it, and that
You still have it.
I
You do.
still have, and
We're still-
I
we're
can
still here.
remember. And if I'm going through a real bad time, homesick, I think of some of the fun times we had, especially on that European
Oh
trip.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Europe will
was.
never be the same.
I think about that a lot
Yeah.
when I'm really down.
I
Sometimes
do too. And
I
it
can
helps.
think about that, and it
And
just
laugh.
yeah.
And that's a blessing that God gave us, that we can,
Yes,
even
indeed.
at
We can
our age,
still
we can still remember.
Yeah.
This is the reason we're
That's the
still
truth.
together.
Mhm.
That is true.
It
and
is.
Is that we do for each other. We help each other.
That's all we
Yeah.
And
So
we
many
all
reasons.
remember the annual Christmas parties that we used to
Oh,
have
yes.
here
Oh,
yeah.
at Edith.
They were
Oh,
so,
yeah.
that was so
All getting
wonderful.
together
Yeah.
and decorating. We worked.
We worked hard
oh,
for several days.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they were big parties and good parties.
Yes, they
Oh,
were.
Fun
Yeah.
parties.
Yes.
They were.
We did a lot of laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Did more laughing than decorating.
That's what I was going to say
And a little
before the
bit
party.
drinking, too.
A lot of laughing.
You know,
Yeah.
one thing I notice is that we set priority for our group. In other words, here we're all 6 here, and I'm sure that more than one person
Had
has
to change plans.
had to change plans
You're right.
or make a little sacrifice. But for this group, that's top priority, and
Well-
we don't question it. I mean, we just.
Well, it's worth that much to us.
Yeah.
And we-
Well-
Yes, it means so much to us.
What about our children? My son would do anything to get me with y'all. Because he said, Mother, you are so happy when you come home seeing the girls. I'm just so glad you're going. I said, you mean I'm not happy? He said, well, no.
Well, my son had planned a weekend in a summer cottage there in Texas for 6 of his friends and the family, but it was for this weekend. And I told him, I'm sorry, but I can't come. I've already got this plan. And he said, well, I understand, Mom, how special this is to you. The rest of us, will change our plans.
Wow.
So we're
That
all
was
going
good.
at another date.
That's
But he
wonderful.
said,
that-
I know you want to go, and you have to go.
I know any change.
Yeah, I said. Yeah, I told Edith. I said, oh my gosh! I said, I've it's all ready to go, and I've been waiting for a month and a half or more to go. But I said, so be it.
Well, it's priorities.
Yeah. Sure.
We all know what we
So
want.
called it off, and I'm that much richer.
Yes, we are.
Oh, gosh,
That's a good
yes.
way of expressing it. We're richer for this group. Yes, we are.
Mhm.
Is that
Okay, I am going to take a picture. Don't move, please.
Oh, gosh, I got to sit up straight.